Hello and welcome to A1R Psychic Radio. My name is Gail Moffat and we're going to have a lovely show because we've got a couple of readers that are going to call in and I'm going to do some readings. And, you know, I was thinking about, because I always like to do a little bit of a spiritual talk, and I was thinking about what I would talk about. And, you know, one of the things that is required of us, Spirit want us to be this way, is they want us to be in the light. And when I say that, I don't mean sort of, you know, popping your sunglasses on because you're in this, you know, in the Bahamas, you know, enjoying the sunlight. I don't mean that sort of light. What I mean that it's who we are. It's how we are, and you know, if we're kind and loving and good to people, then we're in the light. And I think that when you're in the light, I think sometimes people can be drawn to you and sort of almost sort of sense your light and definitely be drawn to you because and I know with you know, with people who are in the light, they often have you know, a lot of spirit around them as well, and so that spirit energy will also enhance that light that is with you. But being in the light is also sort of quite healing to yourself. I often think that if we have a choice in life, whatever that choice may be, we often might choose a direction. We might think of ourselves. We might be, you know, a little bit selfish, and we may look to do what's right for us and not what is right for someone else. And this is something that will hold us back in a way. We're not being true to our spirit and our soul because we're shifting that light and are shifting away from that light. And so it's, you know, being in the light is one of the most, I guess what I'm trying to say is one of the most rewarding places to be, because when you're in the light, you are somebody that is giving. And I don't know if you sort of remember, you know, when you think about, well, we're coming up for Easter when we're going to have Easter eggs. And when, you know, when we think about Easter eggs, you know, we might give our children some Easter eggs, and we might give, which is, you know, which is giving, and we are rewarded by giving. And so I think sort of, you know, it feeds our soul in a way. And I think sometimes we can get more out of giving than we can out of receiving. But ultimately, our objective, I think, is if we are in the light, then we are going to be rewarded in our soul. We're going to feel good. And then when we feel that way, we're going to shine our light. And then things happen, like people will be drawn to you, and life will be more rewarding to you just by being in the light. It's almost like we unconsciously recognize somebody who's full of darkness. And, you know, that's interesting, isn't it? In fact, that's really interesting to think of that sort of concept of recognizing somebody that's in the darkness, because, you know, I think that most people actually have that spiritual awareness and don't even realize it, that, you know, you know, how many of you will perhaps sort of just look at somebody and think, oh, I don't know if I like her or him, or, ooh, and you get that feeling, and the other person just hasn't even opened their mouth. They haven't even said a word. And how would you know what they're like? But you just get that feeling. And I think that's, you know, that's you sensing their aura. and whether that aura is in the light. So it's an example, actually, of if you are in the light, then people won't have that reaction to you. They'll be more drawn to you, and I think sort of, it's like dominoes. Is, the more you are in the light, the more people are attracted to you, which gives you more good feelings about yourself, and then it sort of spirals up and brings so much positivity to your life. So there's my little talk of being in the light, and I don't mean in the Bahamas with my glasses. Anyway, we need to go to a caller, and I believe we have Adriana in Hartsville, South Carolina. Are you there, Adriana?
Yes, I'm here.
Hello, and welcome to the show. Have you ever had a reading before?
No.
Ooh, I didn't. I asked that because I felt that you hadn't. I just want to say that there's nothing to be frightened of. I don't come out with negativity. It will be sort of, I always hope that it's a positive experience for when somebody has a reading. I'm actually a medium, which means that I am able to connect with loved ones in spirit, or I can go to my guides and look for guidance. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
I would like to connect with my loved one, my father.
Your father, okay.
Yes, he passed away when I was 12 years old.
Oh, bless you. That's sad. Right, let's see. I feel that do you remember much about him?
Some things. We used to always go to like baseball games, and he was really a family man. Anywhere he went, we went with him.
But I feel with him that he had a good sense of humour, and he was always out for sort of, a bit of practical jokes or a bit of fun. Does that make sense to you as you remember him? Yeah. And I feel like he's just really, really playful energy, really sort of like, and he was somebody that just loved life. He was always, always up for fun, and he was just great with you children. I feel like he was just an amazing father. And I feel that you have. I feel like there's real positive memories of him. Is there a photograph of him, sort of almost like, I feel like he's standing on one leg, or just sort of goofing around, or just playing around a bit? Does that make sense to you?
We used to walk on his feet, like he would put his feet out and we would dance on his feet, and we would walk on his back and stuff like that.
Yeah, and are there photographs of this?
I lost all my photographs of him, but I have one photograph where he went on a vacation with my mother, and he's in like a boat taking a picture.
Right, yeah. Because I just feel with him that really sort of playful, adorable, and I feel also that he's here with me, but he's also here with I feel like your grandfather, and that's his father. He's in spirit, is he? Is that correct?
Yes.
Because I'm seeing another gentleman that's coming in by the side of him, and I feel that, and they've come in together, and your father is saying to me that he spends a lot of time with your father, your grandfather. Get my fathers and grandfathers muddled up, and he's saying to me that the reason why he's spending a lot of time with your grandfather, and I feel that this is significant, is because your grandfather is almost like he's one of your guides that's assigned to your family, and I feel like particularly you, and I feel like he sort of overlooks your family and is guiding you, um, because I feel like what I'm being told is that there is a sort of a sense of not knowing sort of. I feel like what your dad is saying to me is that you've been sort of thinking about your life and you're not sure that it's. I feel like you're not sure that you're in the right direction or want to or or feels that there's a restlessness with you. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah. Yeah.
And your dad is saying that both of them, him and your grandfather, have come quite close to you to guide you, because they're saying that you need a little bit of upliftment as well, because I'm being told that you've been I never know how to describe. I feel like a bit of a low mood is how I'm going to describe it. Does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
and and I feel also that you've been I can feel this sadness that you've been um like there's aspects of your life that you're not happy with, and and so the two of them are there to look after you and make sure that you're all right. They're both, I mean,
Yeah.
they're both gorgeous. I mean, your father is lovely, lovely man. I also feel that he's quite handsome as well, and
Yeah.
I feel that he was somebody that like I feel like your mum was very lucky to have him. He's a very good looking man, and he's
Yeah.
And I feel like it so much so that people would comment, about how good looking he was, and I feel that he sort of knew it as well, but not in a bad way, like not in an egotistical way. He just sort of, he knew. It's like that
Yeah.
he was he was sort of a good looking, but he's telling me that he's passed the genes on. He's telling me that he says you're not so bad either. You're quite good looking. He's telling me that, and he's saying that he feels that we're all quite a good looking family. Isn't it funny? He starts by telling me how good looking he is, and then he gets modest about it and says we're all good looking. um, but yes, he says that that you're quite a good looking family, and but I feel that have you got? Are you from South Carolina? Is that where you're from? Because
No,
I feel like
I'm
I want to go
originally
somewhere
from
else.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Yeah,
That's where I was born.
yeah. Because I feel like this isn't where you were brought up, or this isn't your home, if so to speak.
No.
I mean, it is now, but you know what I'm saying. And I feel that because your dad is saying that there's a sense of feeling restless where you are, almost as though you're not sure that this is where you want to really end your days here.
Yeah.
Is that
That's true.
and he's saying to me that he can understand why, because he feels that it's almost like there's been some good reasons to be there, but it hasn't, things haven't fulfilled in for you in the way that you would that you expected. I feel like things haven't gone as well as you would have liked, and and this is why you've been. I feel also that you've got family in other parts of the country, that
Yeah.
I feel like you're
And
separated from family, geographically,
yeah,
not emotionally. I mean, and and your dad is saying that he feels it would be good to be closer to, and he's calling it home. So I'm assuming that you've still got relatives from where you were originally,
yes, I do.
because he's saying to me he thinks it would be good to go home. It's almost like it's time. But when spirit give me this sort of advice, I always think, oh, now I better just put this little caveat in, because um, what I want to say is that, you know how we can have opinions here? Well, we can do the
Yeah.
same when we're over there. We can have opinions. And it doesn't
Okay.
necessarily mean that they are all knowing. It just is that it's his opinion, just as if he were here. But he's coming close to me and he's saying, no, Gail, this is what she should do. It's like, he's correcting me. But you know, I feel that he does this out of a deep amount of concern and love for you. And he feels that you being protected with family around you and coming home would lift your spirits. And it's almost like you've got an instant network of friends and people that you know, and that, and it's like you haven't got that where you are. And he feels that this is part of the problem with where you are, that you would be, he's very concerned about your well-being and wants to lift your spirits, and feels that this would be an important sort of aspect of how you could lift your spirits. um So I'm thank you very much for calling in. I hope that helps. And you know, I'm going to go to another caller. But do find me on Facebook if you need to speak to me. My name is Gail Moffat. Right. So we're going to go to Karen in Castro Valley. Are you there?
Yes, Miss Gail, I'm here. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Oh, Miss Gail, how sweet. um, it's something that people in America always do, and it's such a lovely way to address people, isn't it? And we just don't do this in England. We're not so polite in England, unfortunately. But anyway,
Absolutely, we need to get back to that. That'll cut through a lot of the noise that's going on. We just need to be kinder to each other and show respect.
absolutely, I agree. So I'm a medium, and I am able to connect to loved ones, um, or I can look to give you guidance from my guides. Is there a particular way that you would like me to work?
Whatever, I'm going to leave it up to the universe. I know that we might have someone out there from a medium perspective that might want to come through, and if today is not today, I respect that, and so I'm going to leave it up to you as my generous host.
Right, okay, thank you.
The hostess with the mostest.
I'm just taking a slurp of water. Right. Okay, so I feel that I feel drawn to talk about yourself first of all, and spirit may come in as I'm talking, and that often will happen. But I feel drawn to talk about yourself, and I feel that I feel drawn to your um, spirituality. I feel like I want to call it. Um, and I feel that there's more to you than meets the eye. And I feel that you have a gift that is sort of almost untapped. And I feel that you could do so much more spiritually than either you realize, or you do realize, and you're just not doing it. Does that make sense to you?
I realize it. I don't know how to access it. I don't know what the steps are. I don't, I've been trying to follow the breadcrumbs, and that can sometimes be elusive.
Yeah, because I feel that you have a great deal of insight, intuition. I feel that, and I feel, spirit are ready and waiting to step by the side of you and start working more closely with you, because I do feel that you have the ability to really shine with your mediumship. And in California, there's lots of places you can go to learn. And the first port of call is probably to contact your local spiritualist church. But I do feel, because there'll often be mediums that you can connect with that do classes and things like that. But I do feel that there's something about you that's different. And I feel like you're not just like an average medium. There's more to you than this. And I feel like the spirit world want to work with you in a way that is, I want to say, extraordinary, in a different way from the average spiritual person. Does that resonate with you?
Absolutely. I'm saying that, and I'm saying that with all truth and honesty.
You've just felt that.
I just don't know how to get there, and I know I'm being pulled, but I'm ready and I'm willing. It's just let's call it in for me. Show me the right tutors, show me the right guides, show me the right teachers, show me the way. Because I realize I do have a gift, and I don't know what it is, but I know it's important, and I think that it's more on the level that to benefit humanity.
Yes, definitely. And I feel that this is not just your average medium that's going to be, setting up their stall and doing, reading after reading, or a workshop or something like that. I think there's more to you, and I think that you're going to be. I feel like you're going to be so spiritually connected that I feel that you're going to be. Feel like there's big audiences that are going to come to speak to you, and you're going to be. People are going to come from miles and miles away to listen to you, to listen to your wisdom that's going to be imparted to you. So I do feel like it's more of a spiritual wisdom that you're going to impart, as opposed to what's happening in my life. But I sorry,
totally resonates with me, and I just totally resonates with me, and I thank you.
Yeah, well, it's confirmation, isn't it, to what you're feeling, and I feel that I feel also that you're going to be well known. People are going to know you, and know your name, and I feel that you're going to be doing quite a bit of traveling around as well. Going to different places and speaking at some sort of speaking spiritual conference or something like that. And I feel that I feel also, I'm being told that it's going to come to you very, very quickly. It's not going to be something that you're going to have to work particularly hard at when you find that, your place to learn and develop this. I feel like it's going to come easily. You're going to be, I feel like you're just going to sort of like rise up really quickly in your ability to do this. What I would suggest is your first port of call, and this may help other people that are listening, that are interested in developing their mediumship, because it's about you need to develop the mediumship, but they are going to work with you in a different way. And I feel the first port of call is understanding how to get into the power. So how to sort of raise your vibration. And there's quite a bit on YouTube explaining how you can do that. And so that might be a first port of call. The second port of call is it's essential to find the right teacher that you can trust and feel comfortable with, and spend time developing your mediumship. And I feel that can either be done. Sometimes it can be done online, but I do think there's a lot to be doing. If you're in the same environment. But there's lots of spiritual camps in the United States, and I believe there are ones in California as well that do sort of training and workshops and things like that. Lilydale in New York, upstate New York, is quite well known. And then, if you ever want to go come across to England, there's the Arthur Findlay College, which is very well known for developing your mediumship. So just write into Google the spiritual camps United States, and a list will pop up. And then spiritual churches near me, spiritualist churches near me. So there's often sort of local training. There's I'm not quite sure exactly where you are in California, but
San Francisco Bay Area.
Oh right, well you're near a very good friend of mine who is a medium, an excellent medium and an excellent teacher. So why don't you find me on Facebook? My name is Gail Moffat, and find me, and I can give you all the details of how to contact him.
Oh, that would be beautiful, Miss Gail. Miss Gail, how do you spell your name?
It's Gail is Gail, and Moffat is M for mother, O, F for foxtrot, F for foxtrot, A for apple, T for tango.
So there's only one T?
Only one T, yes. It's the same spelling as the town in Scotland.
Very nice, very nice. Miss Gail, I very much appreciate you today, because you have dropped the breadcrumbs I've probably been looking for. And you're absolutely right. I've been holding back in hesitation of trying to figure out and identify truly what I'm working with and doing here, and being able to trust. And trust is imperative, because I realize that my calling is a higher calling, and one that is not your average.
Yes, your calling is a very, very important one.